How goes it? Been a while. Thanks for tuning in. Playing in the background is the title track from the latest album from Magna Carta Cartel. The album and this song that's playing right now is called The Dying Option. Another coincidence in in the non-coincidences that have been going on. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. A lot. Mainly because it seems to be what most people are obsessed with. And it seems to be what has been the downfall of humanity, if you ask me. And that is misinterpreting death. Or perhaps misinterpreting isn't the right word. Maybe buying into the bullshit as to what death is, as to what life is. Just buying into the bullshit that we're fed every day. Buying into these fake reality that we are sold. We live our lives in fear of death. And that fear of death guides our lives. And by us, and our, I'm talking about the Western world. I mean, there are cultures that actually celebrate death. For instance, the Buddhists. I remember reading the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying a bunch of years ago, and yeah, it's a completely different culture, and as it should be, as it should be. Now, I have fallen into the trap because, as most people, you just believe what you're told, right? And that's part of the deal. Believe what you're told. We're not supposed to mistrust. We're not supposed to question authority, no matter what people tell you. No. And the funny thing is, a lot of the lies are easily disproven. Easily. Just no one really cares to look. Let's touch on Flat Earth for 1 second. The Flat Earth Society has nothing to do with Flat Earth. Flat Earth Society is a disinformation chamber, much like MUFON, Mutual UFO Network, is a disinformation chamber for what's actually going on. But the Flat Earth theory, that's a different thing. We've all been taught that, right? We've all been taught that the world, the Earth, is this globe, this ball spinning through space at incredible speed, as everything else is spinning through space at incredible speed as well. And, we believe it, because why not? I mean, the movies, they reinforce that. Literature reinforces that. Reinforcement's a form of conditioning. So yes, you believe what you're told. You believe what you're taught. Because we're told, you go to school, your teacher means well. I had a discussion with my granddaughter the other day. She's 6, but she might as well be 76, because she's an old soul for sure. And we talk about things. And she brought it up to me, the fact that she thinks a lot of what they're learning isn't true. And of course, I don't lie to her, so I go, yes, you're right, it's not true. But the other day she says, Grumps, she calls me Grumps. My teacher is really nice, so I don't think she knows that what she's saying isn't true. And she's right. Like, a lot of people just buy into it. They're not bad people teaching you bad information or wrong information. They're teaching you what they've been taught. And they didn't question it at the time, so they assume it's right. Isn't that something? Repetition equals truth. Not really, but that's how we phrase it, right? What happens in school? You're taught to parrot. You are taught to parrot what your teacher is ditching out at you. Repetition. You don't even have to believe it as long as you remember it. I mean, that's how I got by. I always got by and didn't do too badly. I made it through school, I think, and looking back on it now is because I truly believe that I knew deep down inside that it was all bullshit. That's why I wasn't buying into it. But I mean, I generally got, without even trying, I would get a C. If I tried a little bit, I might get a B or an A. But I never felt the need to try too hard. So I'd always stick with my B's and I'd be perfectly happy, to the detriment of my mom and everyone else like that. But hey, you know what? We're going to do something here because I realize this song has been played on repeat. So we're going to just go play something different, huh? Okay. This one's called Don't Look Now. Haven't heard it yet. Full review coming soon. But I highly recommend this album, Magna Carta Cartel, The Dying Option. For those that are unaware, Magna Carta Cartel is made up of Martin Persner and his brother Arvid, Niels Nielsen, and I forget the other person. It's a great band though. Now, they first came to my attention being members of Ghost, the band Ghost, who was also another one of my favorites. So, oddly enough, so is Magna Carta Cartel. And, everything's connected. Everything's connected. But the new Ghost album, which I'm still working out on a full review of that, and this one are connected in a way, and not just via distant working partnerships. Thematically, and in the moods they set, at least for me. But anyhow, getting back to what I'm talking about here. The Dying Option. That one hit home. That one hit home because I've been thinking about that a lot. The dying option. Dying is an option. Dying is just exiting. Death is a doorway. And you have the option, when that time comes, you will have the option to come back and finish what you started or whatever, but you will have that option. When you are faced with it, you will have that option. That's why people come back from the dead and all that. They didn't want to leave yet. They have unfinished business. So you're faced with that and you're given that option. Sign the book. Sign the contract. Come on through. Or you can go back and finish. Yeah, I know that for a fact. At least for me. And if humans are similar, if we are, might be the same way for some of you. It's an option. For those who like to research as I do, look up Michelle Gibson. Michelle Gibson did a video a while back. She's someone I only discovered just maybe about a year or two ago. And as with many people, a lot of what she talks about is either over your head or it's irrelevant or I just don't buy it. But there are certain things that are incredibly accurate. She did a video about what happens after you die. which hit home when I was watching it, because it was almost word for word what happened when I had one of my most interesting experiences ever, looking back on it now. Which is when my wife says I died during a recent, well, not that recent anymore, but recent mushroom trip. Scared the hell out of her, but I came back. I mean, I was fine, right? But thinking back on it and putting two and two together and rehashing it in my mind all this time, watching not Michelle Gibson, that's someone else who I've been following lately, but watching Dolores Cannon, I think I said Michelle Gibson, watching Dolores Cannon talking about what happens when you die, that one hit home, because that was what happened when I did. So a lot of people may have different opinions of things, but something will hit home, and that's the important thing. It's not to listen to people who you agree 100% with, and that's not the way we learn things, by just sitting in an echo chamber, but getting different opinions, different views. Like right now, what my last video was about, or a couple of videos ago, was just how some people in the alternative history and all that kind of communities are fighting amongst themselves now. It's just stupid, because everybody has great points, but you spend your entire video talking shit about someone else. Just ignore them. Don't give them credence. If you don't like the guy, the girl, the person, the channel, don't tune in. Don't tune in. Why do you feel you have to go in and do an entire diatribe on how wrong someone else is? What you think is wrong might be right. We just get really full of ourselves and get really possessive of ideas when none of us knows anything, right? We're all making guesses, best guesses, because it's all you can do. What happens when you die? I can tell you what happens when you're almost there. I can't tell you what happens when you die. And that's the problem. When you cross that final, because there's differences. There's differences. You just have to understand that death is not what we've been told. Death is not what we've been sold. And stories coming from days of old. Trying to get rhymey there, but the dying option, I seriously believe that we are focusing too much on not dying. We are focusing too much on not crossing the finish line. We are focusing too much. We are so preoccupied with not getting to that point, which is ridiculous, because we all get to that point. The whole point of living is dying. We're all going to die. We're not all going to be rich and famous and this and that, but we're all going to die. And when we all get there, boy, are we all going to feel really stupid, because you figure out that these things we obsess about over here are just plain stupid. It's dumb. And those who might know exploit this fear of death that we have. They exploit it. I mean, everything you do is because you're afraid of dying. You're killing yourself by being afraid of dying. You're not living. We should be here to enjoy every single freaking moment. Not to obsess over when you're going to kick the bucket. Now, when I say the whole point of living is to die, I'm not saying that you should go out right now and just end it all. That is stupid, and that's not where I'm going, because it's also a game, and you can't cheat. If you cheated the game, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. If you cheated the game, when you're judged, it'll be obvious that you cheated. So it's like, sorry, go back and try again. You failed at that one, young man, old man, whatever. You failed. Go back and do it. Worst part is, when you come back to do it, you forgot everything you'd learned so far. So it's kind of like having different lives in a video game. Except, what do you get? 3 lives in most video games? I don't play video games. But whatever amount of lives you get, on your, when you first die, your second guy in the game, he still has everything from the first one. He still has all his memories and everything. That's not the way it works here. See? So, yes, you can cheat and finish the game, but then you cheated. You haven't learned the lesson the game was trying to teach you. So you can't. You can't do a shortcut. That would be too easy. That would be too easy. So I could go, hey, I know the answer, and just, voluntarily check out right now, but what would that be doing? That's not what's supposed to happen. That's not what's supposed to happen. I think, pretty sure we also pick how we go. How we go. I was talking about this to a friend at work the other day, and, when I said, well, you always come back, you have the choice of coming back when you die, right? When you're faced with, you have the choice of coming back. All right, look, there you are, you're laying on the floor. Do you want to go back there, or are you finally coming through? And a question a friend of mine asked me was, well, what if you get decapitated or something? I would say that in a case like that, you're probably not coming back, and you had probably made the decision to get decapitated. Ridiculous things like that, you don't really come back from. But who knows? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. The whole point is you can't cheat. You can't cheat. So that is not what I'm trying to say here at all. Don't misinterpret. You can't cheat. You are here. You have to play kinda by the rules of the game. But the problem is that there's people that don't want you to know the rules of the game. They want to keep the rules of the game for themselves. Yeah. You're Superman. You're Batman. You're whoever the fuck you want to be. If you really want to. But there are people convincing you every single day, in every single way, you're just a human, you're just your normal, you're just like everybody else. And you know what? They're right. You are just like everybody else. But what everybody else doesn't realize is that they're special too. We are all capable of ruling our lives, and I'm only just figuring it out now. I'm proving everything that I've learned to be bullshit, and you can too. In the meantime, what happens? You get called a conspiracy theorist, you get called crazy, people look at you weird, that kind of thing. But I'm sorry, man, if I can't prove it myself, I don't believe it. So I am allowing myself to decide for myself what I want to believe and what I don't. Yep, I'm going around in circles, but it's just really difficult to explain. I mean, it's hard to explain to people exactly what you're thinking. Now, you could say the words, but people can't get in your head, so they don't know how it makes you feel and all of this, So, I tend to confuse the fuck out of myself, in turn confusing the fuck out of my wife. What am I trying to say? Don't waste your life worrying about dying. That's the one thing you can't stop. It's going to happen. So stop obsessing about it. In the grand scheme of things, we only have a short time here. So spending the short time we have here invested in hating people, in hating yourself, in hating what you do, hating this, hate, instead of enjoying the day. Finding something you like to do and do it. Do it well. Do it not so well. Who cares? As long as you're having fun. Don't hurt people. That's all. It should be obvious. There shouldn't have to be rules. Hey, this one's pretty good. It's called Valkyria. Also from Magna Carta Cartel's new album, The Dying Option. Full review coming soon. Also, we're doing a full review of the new Ghost Impera album. Maybe I'll mix the two together into one kind of cool video. We'll see. Basically, a message for today, because it's been almost 2 weeks since I've uploaded anything. And I should explain why. It's because, well, Facebook has taken it upon themselves to basically kill our page, even though there wasn't much action on the High On Network's Facebook page. They took it upon themselves to just basically restrict me on there. Accusing me of spamming, which I never even used that account really, so I don't see how it's spamming. I know what happened. It's that I probably made a comment under that page that someone didn't like, and so they reported it. And when you report, you have options as to how you report someone for inappropriate, spam, whatever, abuse, whatever, and it doesn't matter. So I've been rethinking, the purpose of the High On Network, and obviously it's a place for me to come and make these videos, a place for me to sell my wares, which I'm still working on getting the shopping page back up. Though, if there's anything you are needing that was on the page, it's still available if you know how to get a hold of me. T-shirts, microdose capsules, that kind of stuff. So it's been 2 weeks because I haven't really known what to say. I'm just watching things go, and I think the best possible thing, and I'm telling you, I am watching less news and keeping up with less of that stuff, and I am so much more happy, so much happier, so much less happy. I am so much happier these days. Seriously, just by not giving any energy to that stuff. Who cares? Who cares? Don't you care about the people in Ukraine? Well, in the same way I care about, the people 3 blocks away from me. Yes, they're people. They should be living, and they should be allowed to live in peace. But I'm not going to overly concern myself over that, because, frankly, we're never going to defeat evil here. You want to be without evil? Get through this game. Get through this game. But you have to get through this game fully. You can't cheat. You can't skip a beat. You have to win it. Win the game. But play by your own rules. That's it. The Dying Option, my friends. That song, much as life begins the way it ends, the end is the beginning, which is another parallel with the Ghost album, which begins the way it ends. I think that's it. Not sure if I made any sense today. Doesn't matter though. Hey, thanks to all the new subscribers too. Like I say, it's not what I do it for, but it's good to see, every time I check it, when I happen to look over and it says, 25 subscribers now. Last I checked, it was like 17, then it was 20. So thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate people watching. Any questions? Let me know. All right, guys. Girls, whatever you are, I'll catch you next time.